What's up, everybody? It's Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and on this channel, we break down the trials and cases you care most about so you can understand how the American civil and criminal justice system works. And we try to make sure you understand what your rights are in every situation, which is why we try to walk you through the entire legal process while also answering your insightful questions along the way. And while it's not legal advice, it's always exciting. So buckle up for another episode of The Lawyer You Know. What's up, everybody? Another weekend has gone by, and we've heard more facts trickle in about Brian Kohberger in this Idaho 4 case. And I wanted to do a short video explaining the importance of waiting and seeing what is credible, admissible evidence that may help us prove or disprove something in this case. It's a tragic case. Lives were lost, families were affected, but we just can't believe everything that we hear in the media from every next door neighbor or former student or former classmate or former friend that wants to talk to some mainstream media channel, that wants to get some interview with People magazine. Because as most of us have heard, and I've seen come through my messages and be on my Twitter timeline and through Instagram, somebody that worked at the Mad Greek with two of the victims saw Brian Kohberger come in at least twice, and they knew what his order was. It was pizza. And so that is probably the connection and the motive in this case we've been looking for, and connect that with the DMs and the following on Instagram. The fact that he was a vegan, it makes so much sense. All of this gets put together, and it may come out as being true. But as we sit right now, it's one of the first times I can remember having two confirming and conflicting, potentially legitimate sources of information in this case, literally pointing the finger in opposite directions, and we don't know what to believe, which should give a good indication to us to wait and see what is confirmed as legitimate, credible, and admissible evidence in this case and what comes in at trial. Hopefully you guys enjoy this channel. If you do, hit the like button and subscribe. The Alex Murdaugh case is going on right now, but we're going to continue following the other cases and the information that comes in and the questions you all have. So we are going to be doing some static videos throughout the week and some lives at night breaking down the Alex Murdaugh case. If you haven't looked at it, check out the playlist on my channel and join me around 8:30 p.m. Eastern every night to talk about that case and answer your questions. But the news doesn't stop on this Idaho 4 case and the Brian Kohberger prosecution and investigation that is continuing. We talked about the second gag order. They are trying to keep information from leaking, and we got a big reason why when we heard directly, allegedly, I guess, right? Directly from the owner of the Mad Greek where two of the victims worked. And they said that is categorically false. It is untrue that Brian Kohberger has come and eaten at the restaurant at least twice. And they wish mainstream media would do a little more research before reporting on this and giving people a platform to spew things that are just not true and could affect a fair trial. They have made the decision as a whole to go silent and not get involved in the case for the benefit of the victims' families. They feel and empathize with the victims. They mourn with the victims' families. But they haven't told anybody that they can't speak to the media and that they can't speak on the case. They haven't put a gag order on their employees per se, but they found it very unfortunate that some person said something, and because it was juicy enough and because you can sensationalize it, mainstream media ran with it. And that is what we've been warning against from the beginning. And it's not like we're fortune tellers here or we know what's going to happen in the future. Anybody logically could look at this and see the attention on it and see all it takes is for somebody to seem like they have a connection. You have no idea how many messages I get in where people are telling me about connections. Some of them are probably very legitimate. Some of them are probably not. And that's also why I'm happy I'm not a reporter, right? I'm not reporting which one of these stories is true from the potential employee or from the potential owner. I don't know which one is true, but the point is neither of them should be things that we think about as the public as convicting Brian Kohberger or as proving his innocence, because we just don't know how credible or legitimate they are at this point. So whatever fact comes out, Make sure you scrutinize it and think about it critically. Where is it being reported from? How legitimate is it? Do we know that this person is who they say they are? Because let's think about what a big difference this could make on a potential juror. If you come into this trial and you only saw the report from the potential employee and you think Kohberger went there twice and that evidence doesn't come in at trial, but they say he must have met him at some point and he slid into their DMs and they never messaged him and that's motive and he got mad and whatever. Well, you're going to think, I know where they met. He must have seen him at the Mad Greek when he went there at least twice. And you may think this is far-fetched or stretching or dot connecting or making stacking inferences, as they say. But it's not. We've literally heard people say this when they get dismissed from jurors, after they've been jurors on cases, when they start talking about certain facts that never came in at trial. And you're wondering, where did they get this information? Where did they get these facts? Well, a lot of times it comes from leaks that happen before the trial ever starts. So in this case, we have two literally opposite facts stated as truth for people that are connected to the Mad Greek. So did Brian Kohberger go there more than twice? Has he never visited there? That's really important when it comes to the trial. And that's going to be really important when the prosecution is trying to prove their case. If it is true, they're going to call that person as a witness. They're going to ask what he ordered. They're going to ask what he looked like. Did he have any interaction with the victims? If it's not true, we probably just won't ever hear about it. And that's the danger of these leaks coming through. So leaks are okay. Letting me know you heard this or sending me an article about a leak or sending me an article about a factor. Totally fine. I'm not condemning any of that. We can look at everything. We can analyze everything. And then when we get confirmation that it's true, that it's accurate, that it's legitimate, that it's admissible, that it's credible, then we can take it a step further. But until then, I think we take everything with a grain of salt in this case, especially because all of the legitimate players or people with real information on this case have been gagged by the court. And we have to remember that as we go through and look at this stuff. So if you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments. And if you want me to continue following this case, even during the Murdaugh trial, hit that like button and subscribe. And let me know what you're thinking about this case in the comments. Thanks for listening. Till next time.